Back in the chair, trying to get my bearings. Really didn't pay that much attention to what was going on over the last week. Well, I checked my phone about 1,000 times a day. Just kidding. But I want to just start off with when I left you guys. Was talking about a rally in the dollar from here. Said to not be pressing the short side. We could rally to 102 or so, and that's what happened. That was tied in with the yen heading up towards the 150 151 level. Hasn't achieved it yet, and the 10-year, I was talking about 4% down here, we're actually above it. There could be some more left here. It's 11:05 EST. I forgot the intro. Okay, see, so it's
I did. I
11:05.
did.
Huh?
I did you justice. I said it was 11:05 EST. It's time for Mike and me, but then I said it was my alter ego instead of you.
Oh
So
yeah, it's
so
time
it's
for
still
me.
yeah.
Time for me, and Mike and I are both Geminis. So when we're talking, you're hearing four of us. Okay, so
Unapologetic Geminis.
yeah, well, it's an edge because we don't get locked into one narrative. Geminis are pretty flexible to be able to see both sides of the coin.
Mhm.
I think it's an edge.
It
So,
is.
yeah. So, Mike, the big story coming into this morning after a huge blow off move to the upside, I'm not blow off, but huge short squeeze in China and China related stocks. Uh, we're down almost 10% on the FX side. Wow, this is a wild chart. Look at
Look
all
at you.
these gaps,
No,
huh?
by the way, the triple ETFs are even more exaggerated or exacerbated. I could bring up a couple if you will, but that's just emblematic of what's going on. Correct, Coach?
Okay, so uh, do you think you let maybe the dust settle for a few days, and this is really because I know you're on the China stocks in here before
Yeah,
this
I was.
happened.
Yeah.
So, do you buy this break sometime in the next several days in China?
Well, I point as Surfs Up as posted this morning. You can get listen, it's not it's not buying any middle of the range China stocks. You either buy something that's going to with that's heavily shorted with a low float, or buy best of breeds. You don't want to get
Okay,
caught in any of these middle ancillary ones. If they don't work, you're going to be stuck for a while. Now, what
like
are they?
like Russell, like the
Well,
Russell compared to the blue chips.
that's a perfect analogy, Coach. Thank you. And as Surfs Up pointed on this morning, Jim Cramer, he's not the judge and the jury, but he's a high level opinion. I get it. He said, and we posted it, the only ones worth buying here, I'm talking about buying and hold, or like you would say, Coach, if sweeps come in,
Yeah,
are Baba and Baidu. Anything else is really just really speculative. Don't get me wrong, I'm playing them. But if you're going to get stuck in these type of moves, which can happen, you want to be stuck with stocks that at least will give you some out, down, sometime down the road.
yeah. So here's Baba today. Let's just take a quick look at it. Yeah, I mean, phew, $40 move in a couple weeks. So went parabolic. I think people are going to be, I think there's going to be willing buyers. Maybe like at 100 or 96. I don't know if I would do it right away. I think I
No,
want to
you got
see
to
if
do
you
it. You got
do
to
it
do
right
it
away.
small, Coach. I'm sorry
Yeah,
for
okay,
interrupting. These are
that's okay.
binary moves. These are binary moves at this point. If you
Right.
get stuck with another situation like this, you're married to the position. Now,
Yeah.
granted that the China stocks went from the most
Oh,
underbought to the most overbought, and China, and of course, Goldman came out a couple of days ago and says go overweight China, which, quite honestly, I think they wanted out of some stock. Doesn't mean
yeah.
that they're not going to buy them on a dip. But I'm
Right.
telling you right now, when they upgrade, who Coach? They upgraded Baba. You know what I mean? 2 days
Yeah.
ago. So
Yeah. A little late. I have a theory. It's kind of facetious, but David Tepper was
yeah,
he was very bullish China before it came out of here.
actually,
And
he said it. He said it the day after the stimulus package went. The first day up, he said it, and he was
yeah,
still right. But I'm
yeah.
sorry.
No, that's okay. He owns the Carolina Panthers, Mike.
I know he
And
does.
and okay.
By the
And
way, they're the worst performing team in the league and have been for some time.
all right, so I'm thinking he let go, especially after the Bears. They made the Bears look like a Super Bowl team on Sunday. So he had to dump some China stocks to build his roster up again so they could win a game.
Well,
But
listen. I'll tell David Tepper. Leave it to the professionals when it comes to Carolina. You're a
yeah,
genius at trading, but when you come to that, right, Coach? Leave it to the
yeah,
professionals.
yeah. I mean, I don't know, what his role is, how active he is, but
He's pretty
um,
active. He
is
fired
he?
like three quarterbacks within a year. Yes, he's very active, and
Okay,
he makes no bone. He's as active as Stevie Cohen of the Mets.
okay, okay. All right, so that I was just thinking that was, set it for entertainment value, but who knows? With Tepper being a big, he's a whale.
He is a
So
win and a good one too.
so who knows? Uh I also kind of want to touch on the metals because they're getting obliterated today. And overdue. Gold held up the best. Well, silver did too, but last week the week and a half ago, and we haven't gone anywhere in gold or silver up until today. I'm thinking 2,500, 2,450 into November sometime, and silver's really getting smashed here. Before I left, I said book
Yes, you did.
profits between 32 and 33. And
Mhm.
then I'm sure this day people are saying, I shouldn't have listened to Pinkert. We're on our way to 39. We're on our way to 28 at least, I think. So I think you could be careful with that, and be patient. And they're getting to some of the shares too. I'd be cautious with the metals going into mid-November. Maybe they're going to be a buy after the election, but there's some liquidation happening. Who knows? Who's one of the biggest gold holders in the universe? It's China.
Paulson. Oh, right. Okay, but you know what, Coach? Now I want to ask you a couple of questions. It is China.
Okay.
How
Okay.
about gold versus oil? Forget about silver and gold. How about gold
Okay.
versus oil? Because oil has been taken down by this, was taken up by a China trade, if you will,
Yeah.
and being taken down today. So I want your opinion on oil and the VIX.
Okay, so WTI, I'm thinking, with all the headlines, the escalation with Hezbollah, we rallied back inside this triangle, so this accomplished knocking out every bull. Okay, so I think they're going to knock out every bear next. So I'd be looking to buy pullbacks. I
There you
don't
go.
think we're going right to new lows. I think we're going to take out stops towards 84. So I'd be a buyer on that. Hard for me to get bullish on VIX, even though we've had a nice pop, because I want to see where the VIX is at when the S&Ps trade 5850 to 6,000.
Okay.
So I'm still looking
That
for
is
new
150
highs.
point, but that is a 150 point S&P range, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let I think at least 5850.
No, no.
That was Steve's number, Pivot King. So I'm paying attention to that area
Sure.
because he's good.
Yes, he is
So
very good.
so
Very good.
and most people are looking for 6,000. Okay. So how everyone's looking for one number. It either doesn't get there or melts through it like butter. So maybe we're not going to get to that 6,100 target. So 5850, I'd take a look at the VIX. It's not great that the VIX is, put on a pretty good move considering S&Ps haven't done anything wrong. I mean, look at today. I thought when I left, we'd pull back to 5,600. I even talked to you on the phone. All they could do is take a little out of it at 5,680. That's your first warning sign that there's a correction underway, would be back under 5,680. So watch that level.
Sure.
If that happens, we're going to see this moving average. But we could also just blow off to the numbers we just spoke about. And, I noticed, Mike, even when the market was down the other day, NVIDIA held up great. And NVIDIA looks like new highs, 145 coming or so. It's been lagging, but now it's kind of leading. So I'm waiting
And
for,
by the way, you know
yeah,
what Tepper said? He said he wouldn't touch Nvidia down there.
he wouldn't touch it here. Okay.
It said he wouldn't touch it before it even rallied. When he came out with China, said he
Yeah.
wouldn't touch it.
Okay. Well, I think this could be an important high, making new highs
Oh,
up
I do
here.
too. I'm not going by I go by price action. I'm smart, you know. I'm smart enough to gauge price action than actually to follow Tepper with the last 20. I can do more damage noticing price action than going through Tepper's books the last 20 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I know guys that once it peaks are looking for, $50 in the video.
Okay,
That's a big call.
that's fine.
And I'm waiting for Google. Um, I think it has some room left to the upside. Maybe 179, 180 is my level where I'm going to start buying some long dated put options. So that's Google. So Mike, pretend I'm a visitor from another planet because that's how I feel today after getting home late. Travel, flight delays, diverting. It was a long day. So I just landed on Earth and I have all this cash. What do I do with it, Mike?
I don't listen. Deploy it incrementally. I mean, the VIX is still where it's at, Coach. Whether or not you think it's going up or not, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's flashing something, and
And
and they're. Go ahead.
well, you know, as Coach, you know, I'm aware of the price targets. I'm aware that Goldman just came out with the 6,000 high S&P.
Oh, did
Listen,
they?
Coach.
Okay,
It just they did. It's not redundant. I don't want to get stale with this statement. I can give
I
it. I
know,
can give the opinion. I'm stock picking. Does
I know.
Nevada? You know, I'm stock picking.
Okay, so what do you like? What have you? I think I caught maybe a video or two, and you were showing even on the down days there was great action in some of the shares that you trade
Yes, it
that
was
were holding up great, that were getting a lot of flow, a lot of option
Shopify.
sweeps like
Shopify.
Shopify.
Yeah, the
Okay,
symbol SHOP is the symbol. You might have heard of it.
yeah, I've heard of
Hood.
Shopify. So
HOOD.
Hood,
Robin
Shop.
Hood. Ripping. Another one. Flow.
Yeah, why though? Why Robinhood? Because they came up with a gold plan. It's just the action. Is there any narrative behind it?
Whenever the VIX gets elevated, the retail trader comes back and speculates. That's all.
Okay. Okay, that's a nice looking chart on Shopify. I mean, you know, I'd buy pullbacks to 72 if it
I don't know.
happened.
Go to the coaches. Has a lot of support at a weekly support. I don't know
Okay.
how long you're going there, but if you go to weekly, tremendous. That's why listen. That's why I bought it, predicated upon the weekly. I know where my stop is. Here I get it, but I went a little bit long term, and it is a best. And it is acting very well, and it's. I'm not
Yeah,
throwing a
look at
dart
that.
here.
Yeah, it's just coming out of breaking through 200 week moving averages. I don't fade that kind of stuff.
Well,
And
I build into it, and you asked me, and that's one of them. May or may not work, but it's like I said, you can't argue.
okay, let's look at Hood. Hood, was left for dead around a year ago, but let's see what it looks like now. Yeah. So here, yeah, look at this. You know what this reminds me of, this action down here, Mike? Is there's an
Cannabis.
expression,
Oh,
maybe, yeah, but there's a saying that
longer the
market,
base, the higher the space.
there's another one
Whoa.
that, when you have this kind of action, that markets top with violence. That means there's a lot of volatility, up and
Sure.
down,
Like
up
we
and
say, the
down.
biggest moves come at the end, right?
Yeah, yeah, and what you have here is silence, and markets top with violence and bottom with silence, so that there's no interest for, a year. Okay, then all of a sudden a heartbeat, and to me this looks pretty good too, Mike. A nice eye. Yeah, I'm not surprised. So
Coach, don't be patting myself on the back because
uh,
you asked about option sweepers.
yeah,
That keyed me into the trade. Then I had to work it from there.
okay. You're looking for 30, 35, or you just go with
I'm
the
letting it
flow.
listen. Like listen. If I had a ton of stock, I'd be watching it. Like they say, if you have too much stock, you'd be watching every tick. I got enough to where it could make a difference, but not enough where I have to watch it. So if it goes, it goes.
Okay, something else. that we were right about the TLT pullback, and actually it peaked on the Fed rate cut. But now, Mike, I think it's time to put it back on the radar. It's not today, but I think that there's going to be one more good long play on TLT. And in fact, when you look at it on the weekly, we're just pulling back to a breakout area. I don't think it takes out 92. So I think this is a pullback to buy. And the next wave, we could get a rally to above 105 or so. We never got to 104 was like a big area. If you look left, good traders look left. Are you a lefty too?
Uh,
Or
whatever I need
ambidex?
at the time.
All right. Well,
Whatever I need at the time.
I'm a
If
lefty.
I have to throw a left hand hook, I'll try. You know what I mean? What
All
am I
right.
gonna do?
All right. Anyway, so, I think people should start paying attention to bonds. Maybe it doesn't happen until we get some kind of risk off move. But to me, this is a pullback to buy in TLT. And,
Coach, it has been taking calls, even though it looks bad. It has been taking calls.
okay.
As I told Astro, as I told in the room, Astro Gumbo, I think he's bearish on TLT, but they're still
Oh,
taking
okay.
calls.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm in agreement technically. You buy markets when they pull back to prior resistance right here, long
Right.
time,
Uh-huh.
becomes new support.
Correct.
So, and then you have, 200 days here. I think we're getting close to where, maybe you start buying now, but we have this inflation number Thursday. I would buy them on a, you know, kind of a sticky or hot, I don't know if it's CPI, PPI, but
Mhm.
Thursday on some inflation numbers, maybe the market's already pricing in a bad inflation report, and I'd be looking to buy some of this stuff. Like you do,
Yeah.
build it, start small, and hope you're early. Buy small, hope you're early, so you could build it. That's
Being
what I
tough,
think.
buying early in those trades are tough, though, Coach. You're going to be wrong before you're right. You know that, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
Nat gas stocks, how are they doing, Mike? There wasn't much of a pullback. This was really one of my better calls of the quarter from down here. Um, I think you still have to buy pullbacks.
I
And
do too.
yeah,
Surfs Up and I were talking about it this morning. I think the level on UNG, if I remember correctly, I think is around 1480. That's where I remember. If I think I remember correctly, it's around that level. I don't know what you think. I don't have the
yeah,
charts in front of me, but
yeah.
1480, 1460 is where I'm going.
Okay, so those are Mike's numbers, and I wouldn't be surprised when I pull up the chart. Mike is great with option flow and volume, but he's also a very good technician. So yeah, here you go. Some very important support down
I'm
here
open to
around
suggestions. That's the last I looked.
14 and a half.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to own it much.
1460.
Yeah, so your number was right on this, moving average 1440. I wouldn't want to be long if we start closing back under 14.
No.
That would be kind of look ugly.
But I will. Speaking of Tepper, and I would implore everybody to please do the due diligence because it's actually very interesting. He believes that natural gas, and this is one person considering Tepper, because as you said, he's a whale, and I like him. Aside from being a football, I mean, I can bet against him all day long in football, but I wouldn't get a bit. AI is going to be natural. People are underestimating how much natural gas will be powering AI.
Okay, there. I mean, AI needs all kinds of power and those data centers
And
that are like
the utility,
miles. Yeah,
right?
utilities, right?
But the
So,
utilities have pulled back and they ran because of this. For example, GEV, what was the other one? VRT. But now they're looking at natural. Listen, I don't think RRC, best of breed range resource natural gas stock, is necessarily in the forefront of the AI revolution, the stocks themselves. But natural gas is obviously can be used for multiple things, not just a major entity. So I'm aware of it and I'm looking
okay.
at it.
Yeah, because and utility stocks trade with rates.
Mm-hmm.
They led the bond rally,
Yep, they
and
pulled back.
they're pulling back with the bond pullback. So it's a pretty pure interest rate play too, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Yes, it is.
so that's something else to put on your radar screen. Um, Yeah. So you do anything? You seen any action? Did anyone see this break coming in silver and gold?
Uh,
Any put
I didn't
option
see any, I
sweeps?
didn't see any. Listen, I didn't, there was so much going on with China and oils and
Yeah.
mega cap, Nvidia taking flow that I'm starting to realize if there's maybe no sweeps are just as bad as
Yeah.
put sweeps. You know what I mean? When
No, that
everything else is going and nobody interest has in any in calls, then
that's it.
so
No
maybe
interest.
no news is bad news in terms of when there's ton of flow and
Yeah.
that they're taking no flow. I think consider that negative. No one
That's
wants an interest.
very, yeah, that's insightful because I mean there was tons of flow all the way up.
Yeah,
So they pulled in their horns, made the market vulnerable.
hmm
Okay,
that's fair.
if
We all know what they do. That's fine. We get
yeah,
it.
yeah. All right. I'm still, like I said, trying to get my sea legs back. Anything else you want to cover here, Mike, before
No,
we
not really,
sign off?
coach. I'm off the desk for a day or two. I pulled over to do the video, not because I wanted to.
Okay.
Surfs up. Alexis, believe me, he's more than capable. Actually, because I'm not trading right now, he's probably just as more, if not capable, of posting what's relevant. So just
Oh, yeah.
let's keep. He's got instructions, flow news. I don't even have to ask. Surfs up. He knows what to
Yeah.
do. So he's curated by you and I, and Alexis is a high level professional. So I would. He knows what to do.
Wow did he you know, pick up on this quickly?
Yeah, he
Uh,
did actually.
yeah, and
He's
you
one
know
of the.
what, Mike? Uh, I learned this expression while I'm away, and
Mhm.
I want people to take it seriously.
Sure.
And you're a trading coach, and if
Uh-huh.
people just listen to some of what you do and start doing it on your own, here's the saying: a good coach can change the game. A great coach can change a life.
No, no, I appreciate it, the life coach.
Yeah,
But you know what? Like, listen. First of all, if you're planning on turning on here and just going through some option sweeps, this is a process. This is like a medical school. When you go into your first day of school and they give you the stethoscope or whatever that thing is, you don't go start operating. It's a process. Coach,
hmm
we've been in this 20, 30 years. I'm a freaking PhD, a doctor. I'm not going to lie. I make just as much as a doctor. So with that being said, is I just didn't jump right into that. It's a process, and any good coach makes a difference, but yet it's a process. By the way, the Jets just fired the coach too. So
Oh, okay.
they,
So
they just
let me
fired.
ask you this, and this is something I predicted, and it wasn't a real hard prediction to make, that Aaron Rodgers would be fried in the New York press this year. Are they starting to make toast out of him?
Well,
Because
listen, everybody else went. The people falling all around them. The
yeah,
last one to go is the Jefe, the Presidente. But you pay him all that money, he's going to be the last to go. It's like you don't want to pay a guy 100 million, whatever he's getting paid, and bench him after 5 days. You paid him 100 million for a reason. You want your asset to eventually to blossom at one point. Obviously, at his age, it doesn't take a long time, but I don't know. Maybe he's taking too much of that Iowa news score or everything. Maybe, you know why, coach? Maybe he knows too much
you know
at this
what?
point.
Maybe it pays to be loyal, and he should have retired being with Green Bay. And and that's loyalty is something that's missing in our world. People just jump from deal to deal
I
for a
can't
little
agree
bit more
more.
money.
That loyalty is
Yeah,
completely missing in this world. And
yeah,
by the way, it's first and tantamount on my mind at this moment. Thank you for bringing that up.
yeah. So loyalty, we are. We're loyal to our viewers. We're loyal to our sponsor. It's like that in college now with that, it's almost like the pros. No one's, you used to have pride in your school and you'd want to finish a program. Now they're all in this, I forgot what they call it, a portal. They're all in
Yeah,
the portal like Star Trek. And, you never know. Oh, well, if I'm not going to start, I'm going somewhere else. Well, you know what? You learn on the bench. And that can be something for traders too. You can learn by observing and not being on the field.
that's
And then
exactly why everybody should get a
a
TradeView Markets
demo.
demo.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So listen to Mike and follow through on it. It's right on the TradeGate Hub website to get a demo and learn from the bench before you go in and start
Not only
trading.
that, not only that, I live trade all the time. You see the routes I use, you see the orders I use. This Apple trades 50 bazillion shares a day. I'm not trying to hide anything. There's plenty of the pie for everybody. I'm
Yeah,
just trying to show you to execute better.
yeah, you don't need a dark pool.
No,
Yeah, go ahead. This is what I'm doing, Mr. Market, and everyone else who is in the market trying to get an edge on me. Go ahead, prove me wrong. So we don't trade in the shadows here. And you know, it's been, you know what, Mike? It's 4 years I've been here now.
is
And
it
you and
that
I,
long?
yeah,
Wow.
and October. So
Okay.
yeah, so yeah, I've been other places, 10 years. So I believe in don't just get ready. When I was young, I used to jump around, jump around. It doesn't serve you. Um, Hang in there. Always do your best, even if you think you're not being recognized or you have some difficult situation. And the cream always rises to the top. And I'll wrap it with that.
Okay.
All right, Mike, great to see you, man. Missed
You
you.
too, Coach. Thank you for
Yeah.
having back. You too. Like I said, I'm out of town a couple of days. I'm doing the videos. I won't be posting aggressively. I talk through Surf's Up. Surf's Up is not only himself, but through me. Please get on the room and follow. It's probably a lot cleaner and neater action because I'm not throwing a lot of things out there. So, like I said, go through a bunch of the videos. Coach's video again. Go to the YouTube channel. Get to know what we're about. Uh, and we'll go from there. Thank you, Coach, for again leading by example and being fresh right off the bench.
All right, buddy. Mike
Cheers.
Venezia, everybody, come to TradeGate Hub. It's
Thank you,
free.
Coach.
How about that? All right, adios. Don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And tomorrow I have Andy Constance from Dam
Bravo.
Spring. He's a CNBC contributor, and
Incredible.
he he saw the skew in bonds a month ago and was short bonds. So I'm going to be interested in getting Andy's take after
I
the
am too.
sell-off.
I am
Uh,
too. Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.
All right. Cheers.
Adios.
Have a good one. Trade well. Have a plan. Thank you. Surfs up, everybody. I'll do better the next time.